Mom is Ajar. Go.
My mom's name was Linda. Cancer killed her just about 5 years ago. And a few weeks after just about 5 years ago, I got this urn, which I once dropped and broke, though miraculously it didn't spill. My mom was a complicated person at times, but in the end, she definitely left the world much better than she received it, and I really miss her. She has an obituary. It was one of those multi-column featured ones, which was really nice. So you can give that a look if you're curious. The summary of her life's work might be: she was a dedicated teacher for a long time in a district that didn't value dedication, but with students who frequently did. I don't like it, but we don't talk much about my mom much now, and I fear her being forgotten, and then I fear my own quick disappearance when I'm gone. The thought of the last person saying your name and then you're just a body on the endless heap of time. I'm finally going to give this urn a fix-up, and while I do, I've asked a few castmates to come up with some questions, which I will attempt to answer. So, questions.
So my question for you, Matt, is what is a song that your mom knew all the words to?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that question. Her favorite song of all things was Thrift Shop by Macklemore. So she knew all the words of that, and it was because she loved thrift shops. So
Oh man, I don't think this question can live up to it. This is also Mayrose's question, but I'm stealing it. Was she a breakfast person?
Was she a breakfast person? She wasn't a morning person, but she did like a good breakfast, like a proper a diner breakfast or like a restaurant breakfast.
Okay.
Hi, Matt. What is the one thing you'd like people to know about her?
Just that, I kind of said it in the description. She was a dedicated teacher for 22 years in a world that really didn't care about those kids. And I worked in that same district last year, in Boston. And she spent all of her spare time, preparing to teach those kids how to read and stuff. All those kids were years behind in reading. And she spent all of her spare time preparing, engaging things for them, and probably affected, hundreds of kids and got them back up to speed on reading.
Matt, what is something about your mom that you were surprised to find out?
Surprised to find out. I think this is true. It always surprised me, but I think it's a truth that she was going to join a monastery, become a nun before she met my dad, and decided not to.
Wow.
And it sort of makes sense. She's she's to herself and stuff, so that kind of makes sense. But it was very surprising, and I'm glad she didn't, obviously.
Last question. Did she like Oreos? If yes, how did she eat them?
Oh, geez. I don't know if she liked Oreos. She always liked fancy. She always called food fancy. So she would if she went out to specifically buy cheese or meat or cookies, she would always call it fancy and announce it. So she'd be like, "We got some fancy beer tonight," and it would be good beer, but I loved that she always called it fancy. So I don't think she ate Oreos very often, and I don't know how she would have eaten it. I would guess that she would eat it the traditional way, though, just the whole cookie at the same time. So thank you, and I think this super glue has held, but we'll see. Thanks, everyone. Curtain.